The ballroom lights shimmered brighter than ever as Dancing with the Stars delivered one of its most emotional and unexpected nights yet. What began as a typical Tuesday evening episode quickly turned into a royal moment that had the audience, judges, and even the contestants fighting back tears. When Prince William, the future King of England, appeared on screen with a heartfelt message for Robert Irwin, it became instantly clear this wasn't just another night of dancing, it was a night that celebrated legacy, love, and the powerful bond between family and purpose. The 21-year-old Australian wildlife conservationist and television personality, Robert Irwin, was visibly stunned when the live feed cut to a smiling Prince William. The royal, seated in a warmly lit setting, greeted Robert with a casual yet genuine charm. "Oh my goodness, how are you? Oh my God, how you doing?" Robert exclaimed, nearly speechless. The prince laughed, responding, "You guys have got a seriously good chance of winning it. So, just the best of luck on the show." His words carried the kind of sincerity that transcended screens. It wasn't just a royal formality, it was encouragement from one environmental leader to another. Robert Irwin, who is competing this season on Dancing with the Stars, has won hearts with his enthusiastic spirit, emotional performances, and clear devotion to honoring his late father Steve Irwin, the beloved crocodile hunter. The surprise message from Prince William couldn't have come at a more perfect time. As Robert prepared for what would become one of the most touching performances in DWTS history, he received a blessing from a man he deeply admires, one who shares his passion for conservation and family legacy. The moment became even more symbolic when Robert Irwin's sister, Bindi Irwin, herself a former Dancing with the Stars champion, joined him on stage. Together, the Irwin siblings performed a breathtaking foxtrot to Leona Lewis's haunting ballad, Footprints in the Sand. The song carried deep meaning. It was the same track Bindi used when she won the DWTS championship years earlier. But this time, it wasn't just about competition. It was about memory, tribute, and love that continues beyond life itself. When the music began, the entire ballroom seemed to hold its breath. Robert and Bindi moved gracefully across the floor, their steps perfectly in sync, their connection palpable. Every motion told a story of loss, of healing, of keeping their father's message alive. "Every time that I step onto that floor," Robert later said, "I represent my dad, his message, and what he stood for. And I just want to make him proud." As the final notes faded, the audience erupted into applause. Tears streamed down faces across the ballroom. Even the judges seemed moved beyond words. When the scores were revealed, Robert Irwin received his first perfect score, a dazzling 10 from each judge. Bruno Tonioli, known for his exuberant critiques, summed it up best. A royal 10. The crowd cheered, standing in unison as Robert and Bindi embraced, overcome with emotion. For Robert Irwin, this moment represented more than just a dance victory. It was a culmination of years spent honoring his father's legacy while stepping into his own spotlight. Ever since he first appeared on screen as a young boy alongside Steve Irwin, the world has watched him grow from a shy, animal-loving child into a confident, compassionate man, one who continues his family's mission of wildlife conservation through the Australia Zoo and global environmental projects. And now, under the glittering lights of Dancing with the Stars, that mission had taken a deeply personal form. His dance, dedicated to his father, carried not just choreography but emotion. Every twirl and lift was a love letter to the man, who taught him courage and compassion. The night's surprise, however, was still reverberating long after the performance ended. To receive encouragement from Prince William, who also champions environmental causes through the Earthshot Prize, was an extraordinary moment. The prince's message wasn't just polite flattery, it symbolized recognition from one global figure to another, both carrying forward the legacies of fathers who believed in making the world better. When the camera cut back to Robert Irwin, he was smiling through tears, clearly overwhelmed. "Means the absolute world," he said softly. "Thank you so much." His words were simple, but his emotions spoke volumes. In that moment, the young conservationist who had once stood beside crocodiles on the Crocodile Hunter Diaries now stood before millions, as a man earning his own kind of respect, not through danger or adventure, but through grace, humility, and heartfelt storytelling on the dance floor. Bindi Irwin, too, was visibly emotional. Having previously won Dancing with the Stars in 2015, she knew the power that the ballroom held, the way it could turn grief into art and pain into beauty. Watching her brother take that same journey brought back memories of her own time on the show, when she also dedicated dances to their late father. "Every time I see Robert dance," Bindi said in a backstage interview, "I see Dad in him. His smile, his passion, his love, it's all there." I know Dad would be so proud. That pride was shared by millions of viewers who tuned in on ABC and later streamed the episode on Hulu and Disney+. Social media exploded with reactions, fans posting heart emojis, tears, and words of admiration. Steve Irwin's legacy lives on through his amazing kids, one viewer wrote. Another added, seeing Prince William support Robert, this is the kind of wholesome content the world needs. But perhaps the most touching reaction came from Robert's mother, Terry Irwin, who had been the focus of one of his earlier performances. Just weeks before this emotional dance, Robert had dedicated another number to her, saying, "If there's one person in my life who has truly shaped who I am, it's my mom." His admiration for her, coupled with his tribute to his father, painted a complete picture of a young man deeply rooted in family love and gratitude. It's rare for a reality competition show to transcend entertainment and touch the soul of its audience, yet that's exactly what this episode of Dancing with the Stars achieved. With Prince William's surprise message, Robert Irwin's emotional dedication, and Bindi's heartfelt presence, the night became one of those rare cultural moments that remind viewers why they tune in week after week. It wasn't about glitter or trophies. It was about the power of human connection. After the show, reporters caught up with Robert Irwin, who was still processing what had just happened. "It's surreal," he said with a wide grin. "I never thought I would get to do that, to have a dance like that with my sister in honor of my dad, and to hear from Prince William. I'm just so grateful." His authenticity shone through every word. No rehearsed sound bites, just genuine awe and gratitude. The producers of DWTS later revealed that the royal cameo had been arranged secretly, with only a few people aware of it beforehand. The goal was to create a spontaneous and sincere reaction from Robert, and it worked perfectly. When the video message began, the look on his face said it all. The shock, the joy, the disbelief. It was one of those moments that television rarely captures, real, raw emotion. This special episode not only solidified Robert Irwin as a frontrunner in the competition, but also deepened his connection with viewers around the world. He wasn't just dancing for points, he was dancing for memory, for meaning, and for a father whose legacy still inspires millions. As the night ended, the judges, hosts, and fellow contestants surrounded Robert and Bindi in applause. The ballroom glittered with confetti and tears. And somewhere in the middle of it all, it felt as though Steve Irwin himself was smiling, proud of his children, proud of their strength, and proud that the message he lived for, to protect wildlife, to love fearlessly, to live passionately, continues to shine through them. Robert Irwin's perfect score wasn't just a technical win, it was a spiritual one. His journey on Dancing with the Stars now stands as one of the most heartfelt chapters in the show's history. A story of a young man who turned grief into grace, of a family who turned loss into legacy, and of a prince who reminded the world that even the grandest titles can carry the most human touch. As fans replayed the moment across YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, and Instagram, one comment seemed to capture it best. When Prince William called, it wasn't just royalty recognizing a dancer, it was one son recognizing another. And that's exactly what made this episode unforgettable.